Game number 2. I almost said 3. Game number 2, ladies and gentlemen. While we got some time, let's talk a little bit about these cards here. Rapl here is he is the apprentice or the trainee of Mister, and because of that, his strategy is way up. He's paid a real attention to Mister's teachings, and he knows a lot about the way to play RTS and Age of Mythology in general. He's got a real good understanding of that. But where he has success or is very strong in the strategy, he is a newer player. And when I say a newer player, he's still been playing the game for like years, but he's a newer player in terms of his experience in tournaments, his experience at the later end of tournaments. Doesn't have a whole lot of experience in the finals in the S tier tournaments, but he definitely has got the potential there to be an incredibly strong player. And well, we're getting into the game right now, so we'll have to put it on hold for the next one to talk about Hell's Ravage, because he is spawning in the bottom of the map in the red color, playing as Set. His opponent today in the blue color, playing as Odin. His name is Rapl. The map is Sheltered Pass. What is Sheltered Pass, you ask? Well, if you don't know, you haven't been following well enough. Sheltered Pass is basically a balanced version of Jotunheim. It's high hunt-ish. You get a spawn of giraffe in the middle each. You get a spawn of rhino somewhere each. You get a spawn of zebra somewhere each. And we are going to be seeing a veto here. And that is completely allowed, as I can have an opportunity to now discuss Hell's Ravage, who he's been around since the dawn of time. He has been around since the dawn of time. This is why he's got so much experience. He's actually played a lot of really big tournaments over the years, but hasn't had a whole lot of success in recent tournaments. He's a solid player. Some of the most exciting games come out of him. He's a never give up, never surrender type guy, and I'm excited to see what he can come up with in this game. Nonetheless, spawning in the right side of the map is Hells. He's used his veto. No more veto for the rest of the series here for Hell's Ravage. His opponent today in the left side of the map, his name is the Rapl, and he is going to be playing as Odin here. As we do see that great hunt does come down. This is a double elephant spawn here. It's going to be a really big help. Can he drag his elephant in? Yes, he can, but he builds it. Well, he cancels the ox cart. He says, great, I don't need an ox cart. He does train the ox cart for about 30% there, which is roughly about 2 seconds. So not that big of a deal. He's going to get that back in spades. It's going to be absolutely huge, but such a great start here. Both players could have actually dragged that elephant in underneath the town center, but obviously Hells is going to need the granary to get hunting dogs, as he's going to be happy about having that elephant. We do see the hyena moving around the map, the priest moving to the middle of the map here, trying to grab that giraffe. This is not a play that I would expect a set play to do on this matchup against Odin, because you know the Ulfsark is going to be coming in here. You know that priest is going to have to send back. I would be looking for the rhinoceros first, and that way the rhinoceros can defend you while you then move forward and grab all of the giraffe. I think that's the play. But Hell's getting maybe a little bit too obvious there. Trying to go for those giraffe in the middle of the map. If you've got any idea about what this map looks like, you're going to know that that's the case there. As the house going up for Rapl, he's actually double Ulfsarked this opening here as well to make this happen. As the priest does sneak into the sentry tower there, and the conversion here is going to be a little bit difficult. Now there is like a lot of ways to play around this sort of situation. Set doesn't need animal conversion to have a solid advance time. You can do a 430 very, very simply by simply put at about 600 foodish spawns, 4 villages on the starting hunt, and then the rest of the villages just walk out of your base and go on to the next hunt. We do see Hells does know that his zebra are over on the back here. He will be spotting those nicely. And the villagers going to be pushing over here to start bashing this this granary up as well. We see the villagers now moving over there as the elephant going to be getting left here to gather from villagers popping out of the town. So I actually like that play. Not sure why he leaves it with 250 HP though, as the rest of these villagers popping over onto these zebra here. Meanwhile, over in the main base of Rapl, he is enjoying this elephant quite a lot, and he might actually be able to advance here very, very soon. He goes for the forward temple as well. I can imagine that Hells here might go for Anubis, but Anubis might be a mistake because in reality here, Rapl can wall this, wall this, wall this, and then those Anubites are not going to be useful at all. If I was Hells in this position, I'd be looking to grab this town center over here potentially and try and oh, he's still not able to grab his rhino, but just go for a double monument and go for some sort of shifting sands play, just because of that's kind of the problem. But did he use vision? Yeah, he used vision already, so he might get shut out from being able to do that as well. But yeah, I mean, Rapl is he's known for being able to deal with this matchup, and we do actually see the Anubis coming through for Hells. Hells hasn't thrown up a monument just yet either, as the Ulfsark are scouting out this back location here. We see the Raven coming through as well. There's going to be an immediate pressure over onto that spot, as we do see this relic getting picked up. It is the Pelt of Argus. We do see the Dwarven Calipers on the back over there. Also, a relic there with the reduction in siege cost, as the Ulfsark does come through, going to try and take out the Pharaoh. Not going to be able to do so, as the villagers are going to be desperately trying to help defend that one there. Just bring the villagers over onto this zebra there and empower and wait for the advance time, as we do see a longhouse coming down. The Valkyries moving forward. Anubis just about to pop here as the priest's coming in to heal those guys up. As we do see this villager going to be taking this out very, very simply. Pharaoh still alive, just getting some light harass here into this game. So Pharaoh does pull back here ever so slightly. The villager doing its best over here, as there's the Anubis coming through, as the villagers do turn around. Going to start trying to deal with that Pharaoh there, as the Pharaoh is getting... The Pharaoh does go down. The Valkyrie just about to go down as well, as the Ulfsarks, or not the Ulfsarks, the Herso coming in. The Valkyrie does get taken down. More units coming in onto this position here. Where is that blue Anubite, as it's coming over here? Just send it over into your opponent's base here at this point. As we do see the Anubite coming through here, accidentally clicks on that zebra there, as the zebra just about to be expired. There are some berries on the bottom side of the map, and the rhinoceros right here as well. We do see barracks coming down though for Hells. He might actually have to eat this hunt first before he moves forward. He's got himself 300 food in the bank. No monuments here at all at this point. But we'll see how it's all going to go. Houses coming down for Rapl as well on the back here, as we see Rapl now searching around as best as he can for something to do here. As we see a third barracks coming up, spearmen coming out as well, as we see some throwing axemen coming down. Generally speaking, when I see classical units as Norse, my first thought is just grab a town center. And that's exactly what Rappl's doing. He sends the Herso back. Is he still building units, though? He's still building units, so maybe he's not. Maybe he feels like he can actually match this with all the hunt on the map and how much of an advantage he's managed to get here. He feels like he might be able to match this. As these raiding cavalry getting pulled back, we see the Herso pushing in to try and take out these Anubite here, and we'll be seeing Hells pulling back over here as well, as the village is pushing forward to try and grab this granary. Rapl will indeed have to retreat all the way back. Rapl falling into maybe a little bit of a trap here. I don't know if he's going to be able to quite win this fight here, especially with Plague of Serpents coming down. There is a big forest here that could potentially have Forest Fire used on it for an advantage, but it may be a little bit far away, or maybe this one over here, as we've seen another longhouse coming down for Rapl. As this army starting to push forward, we still have a lot of those throwing axemen here to deal with those spearmen over here, as the raiding cavalry just swinging around the back, realizing he doesn't need the barracks just yet, but still trying to set up this defensive position. We've got ourselves 7 dwarves only for Rapl. A very, very unique play, in all honesty, to be because normally you see a ton of dwarves, but what Rapl is doing here is mostly going for gatherers. Instead, gatherers on wood and all the other good stuff, As the raiding cavalry swinging around here as well. We see Rappl's trying to push forward yet again. Double Anubis here as the Ulfsark trying to push through. The villagers have to pull away here. 85 pop for Rapl to 71 pop for Hell's Ravage. And he does click the Plague of Serpents. As Rapl going to be simply just retreating back very calmly, very collectively here. Not taking a fight that he doesn't need to take. But what Hell's needs for his army right now is a whole bunch of slingers, in all honesty, to deal with those throwing axemen there on the back. As Hell's pushing forward, trying to deal with this here as well. Let's check out what's happening in his base. We only see 2 of these barracks really getting trained from. Hell still hasn't put anyone onto the wood here. As I mean, I don't particularly like the odds of a classical army, a full pop Norse army versus a full pop classical army. I think that normally the full pop Norse army is going to have some advantages where that's concerned. As one throwing axeman does get taken down, we see the raiding cavalry retreating back here. As Rapl comes through here with his units trying to push in, take the guys out. We do see one rhinoceros getting cleaned up there as well. Or starting to get grabbed here, I should say. One getting cleaned up there. Grabbing this one as Hells wants to push in and grab these giraffe as early as he possibly can. But will he be able to? It's a full population set versus a full population Odin to be. As I'm still surprised. Rapl is normally plays these kind of situations relatively well, but I'm surprised to see him going very heavy on the army here. We'll see how he's going to go as he does decide it's time to take this fight on this location. The raiding cavalry smacking in onto this fight here. Those Anubites here doing tons of damage. The Hersa now starting to move forward. We do see one Anubis almost getting taken down. The jump special getting used there as the Anubis retreating away. Those Hersa are still very much alive here. It's Hell's Ravage sitting at the 94 population. We do see the Forest Fire getting dropped down onto this position, forcing Hell's up to the top side of that location there. The Priest Pharaoh in the back just doing so much damage here, as it looks to me as if Hell's he's not able to win this fight. I thought he was winning it, but his units just absolutely drop towards the end of that fight. They're retreating back through the Plague of Serpents here. We will see Rapl still being able to push through here, doing just tons of damage. The Raven going to be going down over there as well, as the Throwing Axemen retreating back as best as they possibly can here. And Rapl going to be pulling over here. He's getting himself raiding cavalry. He's got himself 3 military buildings plus the temple. But one thing that's scary here, maybe not scary, maybe scary. One thing that's scary is that the Anubites, they're going to keep coming. Or at least they should keep coming. Rapl here, he's not going to be able to build. He's not going to be able to build himself Valkyrie until he snipes down all of these priests. At least he shouldn't build Valkyrie until he snipes down all of those priests. And Hells is going to be motoring ahead here. He's grabbing that center location, grabbing these giraffe over here. We see the rhinoceros just about to be eaten up as the villagers are going to move forward and grab his own giraffe. And that's going to be the remainder of Hunt on this map. And we'll see how things are going to go here. So the priest is going to be healing everyone up over here. Lots of food in the bank. As Rapl probably needs a few more villagers on gold to move forward in this game. As the units pushing in, trying to take down the villages. You do have to remember that Egyptians repopulate faster than the Norse because the Spearman takes 9 seconds, and I believe the Axeman takes 10 seconds to train, whereas the raiding cavalry takes 18 seconds, the throwing Axeman takes 14 seconds. So you do have to wait it out a little bit if you're playing as the Odin player. As the villagers now pushing over here, we see some more longhouses. The other way to kind of counteract that is to just throw down a bunch more longhouses, and we are seeing that happen here from Rapl as the units do come through, pushing off that location down the bottom. They were trying to get onto the berries there, but Rapple's spidey sense is tingling. There's the house going up over here. Villagers pushing up to the top corner of the map. There are lions. There are berries in the very corner here that he can grab, which aren't going to be too bad. But I imagine Hells is going to be trying to get to the heroic age here as fast as he can, but trying to compete with the economy of a Norse player going to the heroic age, still going to be very tough to get there first. It's the army now moving through here. The villagers going to get caught out just a little bit as Rapl. They both make the exact same movement at the exact same time. But Hells decides to pull back here in an effort to defend rather than going for the fight. As his army coming through, we see Thundering Hooves coming through for Rapl. Is that the play? Do you go Thundering Hooves before Medium Raiders? I don't think that's normally the play, but he goes for it nonetheless. As medium cavalry coming through as well, Rappel's going to want to hold here for those 20 seconds for the medium raiders to come through, because he's going to have such an advantage here. Hells doesn't have his upgrades in just yet. We do see one Anubis in as the Valkyrie is coming through as well for Rapl. Remember what we said about not building Valkyries until those priests get taken down, because those are a lot of priests. They're going to get super value out of dealing with those Valkyries here. As now the raiding cavalry pushing in to take down one priest here. The raiding cavalry are able to move forward even faster here. They've got such speed as well. More longhouses coming down on the back as Rapl is trying to figure out an engagement that works here in this location. Sniping down those axemen beautifully in the back there as well, as now Rapl does decide to take this fight. The Valkyries pushing in over here. If you just micro the Valkyries back and forth, you can actually dodge the priest's projectiles here, but not quite doing it just yet. We see the villagers pulling off of the food here, as well as this Anubis on the back over here will get sniped down by the Herser on this location, as it looks like Rapl is just 100 population, significantly further in front of Hell's Ravage in this game, as the Throwing Axemen do pull back ever so slightly here, but they can continue to take this fight very easily as the raiding cavalry taking out these slingers on the back. We see the Throwing Axemen retreat. Where are you going, my Throwing Axemen? Right through those serpents. They do a decent amount of damage, as now Rapl is going to try and repopulate. He's trying to make Ulfsark here. Are there any Axemen left? Looks like there's not, so those Ulfsark are going to be very, very useful here, as the Slingers very easily going to be able to clean up those, or maybe not easily clean up those Throwing Axemen, but going to be a very, very nice option to deal with those. As the villagers finishing up with those giraffe over here. The problem for Rapl is he's going to be finishing up with his own giraffe. He's got no food left on the map, so he will actually have to start farming, and he is throwing his farms down in his main base. Nice and well there, as we see the Throwing Axemen here getting caught out a little bit, but retreating away, keeping the majority of those alive. As we see some Valkyrie pushing in onto this location, Aurora Borealis as well as Lone Wanderer coming through as well, going to help out those Ulfsarks quite a bit here. As the army converging on this position, we're starting to see some Axemen getting trained by Hells. Is still only have 3 barracks? Yes, he does. This is a little bit of a trope, or like a mistake which a lot of Egyptian players make when they go for the classical age. So they never know if they should throw more barracks down or not, and they basically just never do. They never end up doing it because they want to get to the heroic age. But in this situation, it looks like it looks like Hells is somehow able to hold on here, as the army still pushing through here for Rapl. He's trying to deal with this army as best as he can, but he's just not quite able to. We will be seeing the Pharaoh getting sniped down, as the Ulfsark do manage to sneak through there. The priest here, though, 2 HP remaining, and Hells will have to pull back, still Rapl will have to pull back, still keeping Hells on his toes, as the giraffe are finished up. Both players finishing up with their hunt now. Going to have to go in with farms. Hells does get access to Shadoof here, but oh no, he doesn't get access to Shadoof. He's on Anubis, so his farm's going to be very, very expensive. We see the villagers moving across the map here, going to look to try and grab the berries here as well, as the villagers for Rapl retreating back to his main base, going to throw even more farms up. As Rapl is playing it really nicely. He hasn't really lost all too much. Look at the villager lead. He's up 20 villagers in this matchup. That is absolutely huge here, ladies and gentlemen. All he has to do is convert this lead, not get gold staffed, and he should be having a very, very good time here, as we do see a cheeky little goat getting stolen over here. That's a good amount of food there, as he's got 8 villagers on that location. So we should be able to get all that food very, very quickly. We'll try and sneak over here and take these berries as well, I must imagine. As there are still some chicken in the main base as well that Rapl could grab if he so chooses. As we do see Rapl now pushing back over here. I'd love to see even more barracks thrown down for Rapl, given his villager advantage. The Ulfsarks coming through here. Maybe Rapl will go back in to mass raiding cavalry as well to deal with this army, because it's Axemen Slingers here. So raiding cavalry would be a really, really good choice. Nice micro here from Rapl, dodging away from those priests at 6.32 speed because of thundering hooves. The Valkyrie can literally just dodge all of those priest projectiles, and the priests are going to get taken down. Beautiful raid over here now onto that wood line there as Hells is really severely on the back foot. His slinger's trying to get these throwing axemen picked off, but he's just not able to make it work as the villagers get pulled off of that location. There is a random pharaoh over here as well, as all these villagers grabbing this gold mine to take right in front of Hells' nose. Hells is going to finish up on these berries, probably move to the corner there after all is said and done. As Hell's desperately trying to hold on, but he's super far behind on villager count. Now it's 28 to 60 villagers here, ladies and gentlemen, as the Valkyrie does spot these villagers over here. But there is a pharaoh on this location to take that Valkyrie out. That's going to be very, very nice. But more units pushing in over here as the villagers walking through. Would you just convert these into Ulfsark here? Wouldn't be a bad idea to win this fight, as there is a Valkyrie over here pushing those units back in. Could be worthwhile. We see some more barracks getting thrown down by Rapl. 50 population for Hells as he has to go all the way back into his main base here. We do see the villagers turning around, going to start shanking away as the Valkyrie going to come through. We do see the villagers running straight at that Pharaoh as the Valkyrie going to get some good damage done over there. As we do see Hells retreating off of this location, as well as the Ulfsark and everything else. Raiding cavalry, throwing axemen. Rapl is in such a commanding position here, as all the villagers do end up falling over there. That will actually give Rapl a little bit more military to play with, funnily enough here. Rapl overcommits just a little bit. He's going to start grabbing this town center on this location here. As the villagers moving over into the corner here, going to grab these lion, move over onto the berry bush a little bit later here. But Hells has just got no economy, no military either. 6 slingers and 20 villagers at this point is a very small amount of population. 32 population to 115. Rapl says, I'm just going to grab all the town centers here, and Hells does very rightly so realize how far he is behind in this game. Decides to tap out. No more gold mine, no town centers. Life very tough for him. Villager count low. And this is why I'm surprised, Chris. Normally, the classical fight of the Egyptian can beat the classical fight of the Norse. But in this situation here, I think Hells was just a little bit too thrown off balance in the early game, and he just wasn't able to get going fast enough. And generally speaking, that's how you win here. If we take a quick look at the post game, I don't want to delay this series too long, but Rapl went for a 4-minute advance time. Hells went for a 4:34. Where normally it's the opposite. Normally the set player goes for a 4-minute advance time, and the Odin player goes for the 4:30. That's where things get a little bit different there, as Rapl got going so much faster, did damage, and had a great game there. If you guys enjoyed it, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.